Speaking on the third anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Member of Congress, representing New York's 3rd Congressional District Tom Suozzi said he has one message: Putin is a dictator, Zelensky is not. He said that it was Putin who invaded Ukraine and that the US cannot afford to appease or reward him for his criminal actions. Putin's Russia invaded Ukraine, resulting in the kidnapping, murder, and rape of hundreds of thousands of innocent people in this senseless war. Rewarding Putin and Russia would be both a betrayal of humanity and a green light for more aggression, he added. Tom Suozzi recalled that Zelensky was chosen by 73% of citizens in democratic elections. Moreover, it was Putin who ordered his army to attack Ukraine, and not the other way around. According to the senator, Putin will not stop if he gives in. Suozzi believes that if he takes over Ukraine, Poland will be next. He is a beast, he is an animal, he is a dictator. We cannot allow this to become the norm, Suozzi stressed. Earlier, we wrote that US President Donald Trump refused to call Russian President Vladimir Putin a dictator. In addition, Donald Trump recently made new scandalous statements against Zelensky and called him a dictator. Several prominent US senators and other Republicans have expressed disagreement with recent comments by President Donald Trump, also a Republican, about Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Republican senators have expressed concerns that the Trump administration's policies could strengthen the hand of Russian President Vladimir Putin. Many lawmakers say they view Ukraine as a victim of Russian aggression and do not support so-called appeasement.
Thank you, Marcy, and like you, I'm very proud to stand with all these members as well. It's really amazing to listen to all of you, and thank you so much for standing up like this, including Joe Wilson, who had to leave. And we have to encourage more Republicans to stand up like this and do exactly what John Larson said and show a profile and courage. I've got a very simple message. It shouldn't be necessary, but we have to be very clear. Putin is a dictator. Zelensky is not. Zelensky was elected by 73% of the voters in Ukraine, an election that was certified by the European Commission that certifies it was in fact a free and fair election. Very simple point that we need it to be reported regularly. Putin is a dictator, Zelensky is not. Putin and the Russians invaded Ukraine, not the other way around. When we talk about appeasement, as Steny pointed out and as Lloyd pointed out, we're talking about what Neville Chamberlain did with Hitler before World War II. Let's just give him something. Let's try and make peace with this guy and he'll stop. He didn't stop. The other day, Hexed said, Ukraine can't win this war. They're just not big enough. They can't possibly beat these guys. If we cave now and reward Russia for invading a democratically elected leader's country, who is our ally, if we reward Putin now, what do you think the people in Latvia are going to say? What are the people in Lithuania going to say? What are the people in Estonia going to say? What are the people in Moldova going to say? What are the people in Poland going to say? When I went to Ukraine last April and visited with the commander of the Polish military and saw the map of that area, topographical map that showed the mountains that ringed the area. If he goes through Ukraine, he's going straight into Poland. We cannot reward Putin for his criminal actions, where they are murdering people, raping people, kidnapping children. There are tens of thousands of children that have been abducted from Ukraine and brought into Russia. Why? Because if your mom or dad works at the power plant, that we need your Ukrainian parents to keep on working on that plant, and Putin doesn't want you to stop working there, he's going to keep your children even longer, and who knows what else he'll do. He's a beast. He's an animal. He's a dictator. We cannot let this become normalized. Thank you.
Russia and Indonesia took steps on Tuesday to strengthen their defense ties with a meeting between a top Russian security official and Indonesia's defense minister in the capital of Jakarta as Moscow's war in Ukraine entered its fourth year. According to Associated Press ahead of the visit by Sergei Shoigu, Secretary of the Russian Federation Security Council, the Russian news agency RIA Novosti said he would discuss ways to deepen a defense partnership with Indonesia's defense minister Shafri Shamsuddin. The two officials would also discuss cooperation in other areas of mutual interest, the agency said, citing a Russian government statement. Shoigu's visit, the first stop in a 5-day Asia tour that also includes Malaysia, comes after Indonesia, the world's most populous Muslim-majority country and Southeast Asia's largest economy, was admitted as full member to the BRICS bloc of developing economies, an alliance where Russia is one of the founding members. After meeting Shamsuddin, Shoigu will also pay a courtesy call on Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto before departing for Malaysia on Wednesday. Indonesian officials said ahead of Shoigu's arrival that the sides would exchange views on international and regional issues as Russia hopes to deepen its defense engagement with Southeast Asia countries. Subianto, who has made strengthening Indonesia's military a priority, wants to buy submarines, frigates and fighter jets, and step up defense cooperation with other countries. Last August, as the country's president-elect, he met Russian President Vladimir Putin at the Kremlin. Indonesia has sought to maintain a neutral position since Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine on February 24, 2022. Subianto's predecessor, Joko Widodo, was the first Asian leader who visited both Moscow and Kiev in July 2022, hoping to push for a ceasefire.
Kedatangan Pak Sergei pada hari ini adalah wujud konkret daripada komitmen di level yang tertinggi antara Presiden Indonesia dengan Presiden Rusia. Nah, kedepannya dari Rusia dan Indonesia tentunya berharap kerjasama pertahanan ini bisa lebih dikonkretkan lagi, kerjasama militer dan bahkan sampai tadi bukan hanya satuan, tapi people-to-people contact, dan tujuannya adalah untuk mewujudkan stabilitas dan perdamaian dunia.